Good evening, one and all. Johnno here, as you would expect, because I am now in the seat every night between now and the end of the competition. Joined by the wonderful, wonderful Simon Roberts. Now, Simon, it's not the first time you and I have seen each other this evening, but hopefully you won't have as much cause to complain about my driving of the podcast as you did about my parking in the car. Yeah.
Well, you'd fundamentally, whilst parking next to me, you'd managed to block me in. I wasn't quite sure that was the degree of angle you'd parked at in a drive-in space. It was an interesting piece of parking, but no, it was lovely to see you as always. Where we normally meet, to be fair, while I'm buying chips and you're buying something else,
buying Red Stripe.
Yeah, all the breweries are available now, if they would like to sponsor us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I maintain though, if you'd have VAR'd it, like, because we actually properly looked at this, didn't we? Like, I reckon if you put VAR lines on, I am in. I've used every millimetre of the entire parking spot on a diagonal, but I reckon I'm in.
I think it would have been umpire's call in cricket. There wouldn't have been enough sufficient evidence to overturn it in football. And it would have been equally as shambolic as every kind of referral system has been in all sports in the last 2 months.
Yeah. But we had a good laugh at my expense, didn't we?
Well, your expense.
You went and bought some chips, and I went and bought some vapes and some lager.
Yeah,
so,
it was a win-win all round.
Yeah. So you went for carbs, I went for largs.
Yes. And also, I'd like to point out there's a reason why you're on every night at the minute, and that's because you decided to piss off for a week in the middle at the start of the tournament.
4 days. 4 days. I reckon you just been doing some kind of befudgery around these. What I don't need is the Twickenham lads to complain about me thinking I'm going to go at Eugene again. I'm absolutely not going to go at Eugene again. I love the man dearly. But I reckon there's been some funny old South African maths going on with who's done what on this podcast. I feel like I've recorded a podcast every day for the last 18 months.
Yeah.
So, which is actually only the last third of this World Cup.
And that's because you had a week off at the start. But been a long old tournament, and it can't end soon enough, according to my wife, because as much as she pretends not to like me, I do get the feeling that she wants to spend some time with me, sort of around 8:30 on any given day. Really, so we can both sit there watching some inane television while scrolling through shite on our phones. But we all know that's what relationships turn into. So, but yeah, she apparently quite likes doing that, sat next to me as opposed to 2 rooms away.
On different floors?
No, we're on the same floor. But,
she's not feeling great, is she? Get well soon, Becky. Yeah. Lots of love, my darling.
100% listen to this, so.
No. Talking of, our respective other halves wanting to spend more time with us, did you listen to Eugene and I last night discussing how many global tournaments there are over the next 8 years?
Yes. England are going to do well to qualify. They might as well not bother for every tournament because they're all in India.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, what we can take from this is India are going to be the number one side in all formats because they're constantly playing at home. I mean,
who would have decided that, though? I mean,
the ICC would have done it on a very fair basis based on what's best for the development of the game. That's why we go to India, then Australia, then England, then India, then India again. Then I think they have a I think they have a break from India. No, to be fair, I think there is one that's in India and Sri Lanka.
There is that. That's true. Yeah.
Then we might go to Australia again, but New Zealand are allowed to host one game in that one.
But I think that game is Afghanistan against Bangladesh or something like
possibly.
that.
Possibly. They might expand the tournament and let Papua New Guinea play, I don't know, somebody else. Gray Jones is playing for Papua New Guinea, by the way. He's been called in as captain coach and opening the batting.
He plays for the British Fire Service as well. He's a part-time fireman.
That wasn't where the gag was going, but thank you for that.
Carry on with the gag. Sorry, I ruined it.
He was just the only cricketer that has come from Papua New Guinea.
Oh, there is talk though of the Australia New Zealand tournament and the South Africa Namibia tournament being co-sanctioned with India, so India gets some games as well.
Well, they basically own cricket in South Africa and now, don't they?
Yeah. Well, just I think the universe. I was listening to something with Brian Cox the other day, who I find an incredibly interesting man. I'm not sure I'd like to sit and have lunch with him, but with his views on space and the infinity of our universe and the other universes and yes,
right.
But apparently, he actually said in that interview that the BCCI have got shares in all of it, controlling shares in the entire universe.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant they were going to hold a global tournament on the moon.
No. That'd be interesting. The ball would travel if the bowler could get it to the batter. Anyway, what I feel like we've done for the first almost 6.5 minutes of this podcast is talk absolute bollocks. Sorry, Tim, but there we are. This is what you get when Eugene's not around to control us. So there has been some cricket played today.
Yes.
They did escape the rain because one of those, I think that would have been a terrible result if the game had been completely washed out, and it wouldn't been a reflection on what has been a dreadful cricket tournament. But, you want all the games to be played and come to a conclusion, don't you? So New Zealand won the toss, taking on Sri Lanka, and elected to field. Now, I had a look at the scorecard earlier. I've been very busy today. I've had a couple of sandwiches to eat and a few emails to write, so I didn't get to watch very much of it. But I looked at the scorecard and realised that only one bloke out of the top 8 in the Sri Lankan side got above 19.
Yeah, Andy whopped it, to be fair. Well, Andy was dropped early on in the piece. It was like he got...
Who's Andy whopped it?
Good, Johnno. Good. Yeah.
A second kind of red stripe, mate. I'm flying. Don't you worry about me.
He got dropped early on. He looked like he was trying to play semi-properly. Then nicked an outswinger from Trent Bolt that the keeper shelled in horrific fashion. And then he just thought, bollocks to this. I'm going to twat it as far as I can over long on. Sorry, Tim.
He doesn't mind you saying long on.
Yeah. And then he just proceeded to belt it at a regular basis over long on. I think that's just...
So this is Kusal Perera, right? Who's been opening for Sri Lanka? Because obviously there was no Nasanka today. Is Perera left-hander? He's not played the entire tournament, though,
I think he's
a bit of an old school.
He's bad at 3, hasn't he?
No, Mendes has been batting at 3. Kusal Mendes.
I mean,
who batted at 3 again today?
You talk to a bloke that's has slated Sri Lanka's chances in this whole tournament, and then you're expecting me to have watched and paid attention to who's bad where in their batting order. So the closest thing Sri Lanka cricket got to interesting was when Anjay Matthews forgot to walk out to bat in time. That's as close as it's got. They do have a decent left arm seamer. I will give them credit for that. I think it's Madhushanka who looks like, no, it's not you, Johnno. Yeah. Yeah, in Madhushanka, who does look very good. But other than that, they've got a couple of players that have done well in short format cricket. Dhananjaya De Silva has done well in T20 cricket and looked very good in that. But they don't look the best outfit in the world. However, New Zealand have found during this tournament, he obviously played in the one-day series against England in the summer, but in Rachin Ravindra have found a belter, absolute player, bowls handy left arm spin.
Objection, Your Honour.
Hang on. He's got 2 for 21 off 8 today.
All right, against Sri Lanka.
Who you'd have thought would know how to play spin.
Well, I could bowl mucky off Tadgett there and get 2 for 750. But it's the 2 for that's important, not the 700.
In a test. But I've been well impressed with him. The way he's gone, he obviously started off batting at 3. Kane Williamson then came back into the side, went out the side again. He's now opening the batting while Kane Williamson has come back in. Him and Conway. Conway's the one I'm after. I think he's a great player. If I was on any kind of committee at Notts, I would be trying to get that bloke on a 5-year contract and just say, you are going to come and play for us for the next 5 years, whenever you can play.
Well, he's all formats, isn't he? So,
and because of the nature of New Zealand cricket, they don't seem to play it. The only time they play in our summer is when they're playing us. So he would be someone, like I say, if I was on a county cricket board anywhere, I'll be going, right, can we get that bloke? Because he just looks...
Has he not been signed up yet?
I don't know. I don't know if he has. I know he played he played a little bit in the 100 last year. I think he played a little bit in the Blast. But from what I've seen, you'd have thought it's certainly one of the.
I'm just going to go on the. I'm going to go on the. I'm going to have a quick look on the. Do another monologue. I'm just going to go on the county ins and outs.
It says here he's played for Somerset. Somerset 2s. So whether Somerset have got him.
Somerset 2?
Yeah.
What on earth was he doing playing for Somerset 2?
I've got no idea. But he's obviously 32. But you'd have thought he's another one of these Kiwis that's born just off the top of North Island.
Well, he's South African, isn't he?
Yeah, just born off the top of North Island in Johannesburg. But I mean, we can't complain about that. I mean, to be fair, if South Africa had kept off their players in the history of time, they'd have had some belters. But no, in him and, like I say, in Rachin Ravindra, I think they found a very, very good cricketer. And he is someone that I've penciled into my team of the tournament already. I know that can be controversial for later on in a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks good. And when the ball's going round, seaming round a bit, like it was today, Bolt, Southey, Ferguson are as good as anyone out there, really. And in they've got an excellent spinner. So, yeah, New Zealand just look back to kind of being very good. I know against the poor Sri Lanka side, but look back to being very good. So,
yeah, they do, don't they? I think on this, well, as you say, on the form of today and what they showed today, could they challenge India? You know, like Yuji's colleague said, you know, the one person that Indian fans seem to be worried about, it would be New Zealand.
Well, because they're just competitive, aren't they? They are very, very. They're always very competitive. I think it depends. We've seen that kind of how the games have been going. I think the toss has started becoming slightly more important, unless you can do what New Zealand did today and bowl a side out in 20 overs or 22 overs, whatever it was. No, 45 overs, but then they've knocked it off in 23. So unless you can try and get it finished a little bit earlier, like I don't know. I think they've got a chance. I think if they can get past the new ball, that new ball trio that you'd say that India have got, and still have, because they've got a very, very strong batting lineup. Maybe lacks a little bit of power hitting down the bottom, but you'd say in Mitchell they've got another form player in the tournament. Williamson's always very good, and then the bowling attack is for me is I mean, it doesn't have you wouldn't say it's got the standouts of an India or an Australia, but what they are is excellent in Bolton, Southey and Ferguson and then Sander. So I think they've got a chance. I
can confirm that after 10 minutes looking through the county ins and outs that Devon Conway neither played in 2023 nor has been signed yet or confirmed by a county in 2024.
So, yeah, like that goes back to my point of I would be signing him.
Yeah, 100%. Mitchell, odd run out with Mark Chapman today, where he just ran past him and just went, "I'm senior player, off your foot." Sorry, Tim.
We've all been there with stuff like that, and we've seen where miscommunications can lead to things that maybe do look like that. When one bloke stood there and whatever else, maybe he thought he was. I mean, he's 40 on that. 40. I don't know whether he was 40 odd not out.
43.
Yeah, he got 43, and he was smashing it. So whether he's just thought, "I'm the best person here to get our run rate to where it needs to be."
Although Chapman's belted it at times throughout this tournament.
So,
you know, a lad who started off playing his international cricket for Hong Kong. You know, so and he's really come on leaps and bounds. Okay, so talking about run rate, and you know, I think they won it inside 23 overs or just outside in the 24th over, let's say. That now looks like, well, you know, straight away social media starts going berserk, doesn't it? You know, there've been some interesting stats coming out about Pakistan and what Pakistan maybe need to do in order to now progress. So this came from Eugene earlier, and this is a forwarded message. So, you know, forgive me or us if this isn't 100% true. But what we're led to believe is if Pakistan bat first and make 300, they have to bowl England out in 13.3 overs in order to progress. If they get England out for 100 or less, or out for 100 bang on, Pakistan need to get 101 in around 4 overs to progress. So what that would lead you to believe is that, I mean, not only did New Zealand put in a fantastic bowling performance, but the aggression that they showed in order to knock those runs off so quickly, they obviously would have known.
Yeah,
that was going to be key, but they've gone out and done a job, haven't they?
Yeah, they've just. I mean, it kind of takes a little bit away from the England-Pakistan game, which is that's fundamentally it. It's done into. I mean, Afghanistan have got no hope either. So, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? And I genuinely don't know the answer to this. I think I might, but you'll be able to confirm it for me. If, as Duckworth Lewis, so you played a rain-affected game, Duckworth Lewis is affected by wickets lost. If it's purely on net run rate, is it? And if it isn't, should it be?
What, Duckworth Lewis affected by wickets lost?
No. So Duckworth Lewis is, we know that. What I'm saying is, net run rate. So let's say, obviously, I think, what did New Zealand end up 5 down, 6 down today? They can basically go out chasing 172. And, they have the comfort blanket of Tom Latham coming in at 7 or 8 or wherever he came in order to, he's the batsman who dropped himself down the order because he can see it through to make sure they didn't lose the game. But should there be anything put on, should there be a weighted advantage to losing less wickets rather than just going gung-ho and trying to chase it down as quickly as possible?
That makes it really complicated. I mean, yeah, I think it's complicated enough at the minute with run rate because I can't understand how if you get in a score of 300, let's say, and that affects how fast you've got to bowl someone out. Surely it affects like what you bowl them out for in the overs you've bowled them out in. That's run rate to me. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just being completely thick, but I don't know. For me, run rate is how fast you've scored your runs in the amount of overs you've faced compared to how fast you've conceded runs in the overs you bowled. So maybe that's just me being daft. I don't know.
No. I mean, one thing I would never say to you, Robbo, is that you're daft.
I 100% am. But yeah, so I think there's enough ways that they can break down once it's on points, then everything else, whether that be run rate, whether that be results for and against, results against the other side, whether that be wins, whether that be, balls to it. Let's go whole hog. Whoever gets the most wickets and whoever's got the most boundaries. We want to play exciting cricket.
Boundary count. That's what we want. That is the best way to decide
to get rid. Completely get rid. Make it like baseball. Get rid of runs scored and just put who's hit it out the ground the most.
Well, isn't there? Okay, it's interesting you say that because one of the big things that England have talked about, or as white ball cricket has progressed and T20 cricket has, I know that's also white ball cricket, but one of the theories now is that the people who hit most 4s and 6s will win a game. So actually, those who hit it out the ground the most, that would kind of ring true as to one of the common theories.
That's overcomplicated. That's trying to make something that's very simple.
What am I here for?
Sound
just to overcomplicate things.
Right, of course, if you bat 50 overs and you hit more boundaries than the other team, then the chances are you're going to have scored more runs because you've hit more balls for 4 than you have for 1, 2, and 3. So, therefore, in a simple way, you're going to hit more. You're going to have scored more runs. Yes, if you hit 20% of your boundaries for 4, balls for 4.
I'm going to say 20% of your boundaries for 4.
20% of your balls for 4. You and the opposition only hit 10% of the balls. Well, then they've got to find however many runs it is.
What if you hit 20% and the oppo hit 19%? Yet run more 3s.
Yeah, then you're going very tight. It's over.
It could happen.
I think this is one of the things where that mentality is actually costing England in this World Cup. Because at times they have looked like club cricketers trying to chase a score when it's like block, right, dot. I must hit 6. Then you see that. We see pressure build up. We see it in club cricket all the time where people are going, dot, stop, big shot come in, and then Joe Reed tries to reverse that one and gets bowled off his undercarriage. You've
one of the things I did want to ask you about actually, and you've harped on about this, as has Eugene for basically the entire tournament, is the fact that England have never really at any stage given themselves a chance. Now yesterday, Ben Stokes, phenomenal innings, but gave himself a chance. We scored over 100 in the final 10. But had he not have done that, let's pretend that you and I are recording this last night, so we don't know about the New Zealand-Pakistan game. You look at England's innings yesterday, and if Ben Stokes is caught for 33, I think it was, an absolute goober, England are in a whole heap of doo-doo, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, they've just fallen apart with the bat.
Yeah, we're dragging this one out a little bit, but yeah, I just think, like we've said it all before. You look at England's strength in batting. England's strength in batting is that middle to lower order. The hitting prowess it has. You'd say when you're standing there with Stokes at 4, Butler at 5, Livingston at 6, Moeen Ali at 7, Wokes at 8. All you've got to do is give them a sniff and a license at the end. But we've never been in a position. We've had Stokes coming in after 2 overs. We've got, even in this game, Milan gets you off to a flyer. So you've got even more of a right to just take your time. And yes, England ended up getting 330. That's because Stokes paid a belter of an inning. And then you've relied on Chris Wokes coming in. But and they then gave themselves a chance. But what they did do is hit a Netherlands attack that's not great at the end.
Yeah.
So the
Netherlands bowling attack was poor comparatively to how they performed in the rest of the tournament.
And so what it was two batters who got themselves in and then were able to hit whatever they were bowling at. So for me, if you do that, you look how South Africa have done it. For example, Quinton de Kock's gone out, played properly, Van der Dussen's gone out, knocked the ball around, and then all of a sudden that gives you Claessens, your Millers, all those, right, free reign.
If you like, yeah.
You're off and running. Janssen can get 75 off 30 balls. Because if he comes off and he's got a license to do it, we all know if there's no pressure on you, because you've got, you just got 4 overs of swinging, what's the worst that can happen? Right?
Yeah.
We've seen that that's the case. And I think, and that for me was summed up a little bit by Joe Root's dismissal. Joe Root is a fantastic cricketer, and I'm not going to say it. And if he hits it for 4, everyone's going, yeah, that's a great shot. But for me, it's just a little bit, like, hang on a minute. You're the one guy. You're the one guy that we don't need.
Did he just, funny, our friend Rooster, who I meant to mention the other night, because he's proudly sitting at top of Super Bowl now, which he keeps reminding me of every day when he turns up to my house to build my extension, asked me about this morning, and he said, he was going, it's the wrong shot. And I said, well, A, it's the modern way, but also B, it's premeditated. He's just got a bit unlucky. He's got a ball that's kind of, it was a decent nut. He's hit top of middle stump. And at some point, probably as it's 2/3 of the way down, Joe Root's probably gone, oh, fuck, I've got this one wrong. I'm in a bad position. Yes, he's been bowled twice, basically playing a similar kind of shot. One off a spinner, Glenn Phillips against New Zealand early in the tournament, and once yesterday. But I think he hits it so well, and sometimes you just have to go, yeah, fair enough, you picked the wrong ball.
But
right, that's fine.
Yeah, if you looked at it, for me, and without getting too technically and without making Eugene have to edit shitloads tonight, because I don't want to do that.
Sorry, Tim.
Like, sides have started to figure out that with Joe Root, you look at when Bumrah got him out first ball, look, in one-day cricket, you run it back into it. You want to bowl at the top, middle and leg, and you just want to run the ball back into it. Because, yes, he likes to get across and tuck it in there, but if you're bringing all forms of dismissal. If you want him hanging outside of stump, he can play all the shots he wants. He can walk across the for a mid-wicket. He isn't the worst through the offside, and that then brings that reverse lap in. So for me, it's one that he needs to go, have a look at the field. What line are these guys trying to bowl at me? Because, yes, when he plays it very, very well, but he plays it well normally when the guys are bowling the ball out. In Test cricket, when he plays it, it's because people are bowling fifth stump at him. Fourth, fifth stump at him. So it's almost a free hit. Yeah. Whereas as soon as like, if I'm bowler now, that I'm for some ungodly reason, I'm playing for Netherlands tomorrow and we're playing against England, I am not trying to take the ball away from the bat, because you know that all England's batters prefer width and want you to, but you've got a chance of getting them out with the ball that decks back. Bairstow gets bowled through the gate. Milan's a bit different. Root, ball decking back. The other left-handers, a little bit different. You've got to think of someone else. But all the right-handers in that top 5-6, Butler, bowl at him, and then hang one, because he'll chase.
Yeah.
If you've got to think about it, for me as a bowler, I'm thinking, well, where's the batter weak, but also what's my strengths? Whereas Joe Root's now got to think, hang on a minute, I know they're going to be bowling straight. I don't actually mind him getting out LBW almost, because at least there he's trying to get it and knock it in the leg side to get one. But that for me is just not, when they're bowling the line they're bowling, it's not a great shot.
Yeah.
But
I can't disagree with you.
That's me.
And you are on here as the cricket expert.
Fucking hell, we are in trouble, man.
I'm on here as the mouth, and Eugene's the voice of reason. So, on that note, Eugene's going to be having kittens because we're basically
this episode might never make it to air.
Yeah, exactly. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always. I mean, if you're still tuning in now, you must either owe us some money, a load of favours, or just really enjoy our ramblings. So, New Zealand, we think, have secured 4th spot. They will most likely play India unless Pakistan do something incredible against England. And who can count that out? Because England are England. And in this tournament, they've been nothing short of woeful for the most part. Tomorrow, we see who, Simon?
Tomorrow is, that's a fine question. I'm coming to bear with Afghanistan against South Africa.
Right. Well, yeah. An opportunity for Afghanistan to put in another fantastic performance, and another opportunity for South Africa to, well, they need to get some confidence back after that last game against India, don't they? So yeah, it should be an exciting game. Hopefully a competitive game. Tomorrow, it will be me again. And Owen Simon again, because Eugene can't be asked tomorrow night. Sorry for any of the Twickenham lads or fellow South Africans listening. It's not me having to go at Eugene. That was me telling a joke. I will then be doing Saturday and Sunday, I believe, both with Eugene Berger.
I'm doing Sunday
himself. So
I'm
what?
Sunday.
You're Sunday. I thought you were Simon. We. Anyway, enough of our ramblings for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again on tomorrow.
Bye.